What's up, Dragon Nation? I'm Rich with Dragon Nation Gaming. Welcome back to Minecraft. Once again, we are in creative because we're trying to figure out a new system. And excuse me if I go kind of nutty. I just got off work. I've been up for like 20 hours and I haven't gotten any sleep. So I got home and said, "Hey, perfect time to record." Well, let's look at it this way. It should make the episode pretty damn interesting. I'll probably also fall asleep halfway through. So what we're trying to do is, in survival, I'm trying to get a village made up, which requires stone and wood. Now, we already figured out our stone system with the cobblestone generator. Now we need the wood. Unfortunately, I think I said that this system only works with oak. I've tried it out, and I think that's all that I'm going to be able to do with this system is oak wood. Which is okay. It just means our village, it's not my first choice. Let's just put it that way. But it should work out alright. But anyways, what we need to do is, I did a little bit of recording earlier. Of course, I already have the system done. But I was recording while I was trying to figure the whole system out. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go back in time. And you guys can see how I did this. Alright, so this right here is everything that I built and set up just so that I could try to show the stuff that I had to go through in order to try to get this system set up. So right here, we have the 6 different types of trees. I think it's 6. Is that all that's in? I'm pretty sure that's all that's in Minecraft. It's just 6 types. So here we have oak. Shit, I forget what this one's called. I think this one is, well, if we go to saplings, I think they're already here. Yeah, oak, spruce, and then birch. That's it. That one's spruce, and this one is birch. This one is jungle wood. This one is acacia, which is one that I really wanted, but as you can see, yeah, the tree doesn't actually grow straight. And there are some limits that I can't do because of the system. This one right here is dark oak. Now, I've been throwing tons and tons of bone meal on it. And I really should look this up and see why this does not grow. I'm thinking maybe it just doesn't grow in desert biomes. I have to actually be in the right biome for that to grow. Possible, but I'm not 100% sure. So the one we're going to be using is oak, but as you can see, this one right here is humongous. We also have a bunch of wood sticking out on the sides from where the main trunk is, or branches off, which is not going to work for our system. So I'm starting to figure out that the trees, you can grow like 100 of oak trees. And no 2 trees are going to be exactly alike. Now the problem with that is I need trees that are no longer than 4 high, and they can't be any wider than 1 block where the trunk is. The leaves don't matter so much, but the wood itself does. So what I tried to figure out, when I was building in the survival world, I did figure out that you can set up kind of a limit for the tree to build. So the leaves will actually come up to this block, which will just be any type of building block. Back here we will have pistons, which will push the wood blocks. Really? Are you kidding me? Alright, there we go. I had to change the weather. But anyways, like I was saying, there's going to be 4 pistons which will push the wood in one direction. Then we'll have an observer right here. Now the observer is going to detect the leaves pushing the wood, but because I have this limiter here, the wood will only come up to this height, and the trees are what the observer are going to detect. So the reason I can only do it with the oak wood, and I've tried this out with the other woods, we already know that dark oak is not going to work. I think this one is acacia. And I've been throwing bone meal at this thing forever just to double check and make sure that it does not grow. I think because of the mechanics of the game and the way some of these trees grow, it has to have openings on the side. So we can test that out by taking away these. Yeah, see, now it grows just fine. Perfectly, no problem. I also did that with the spruce. It will not grow. We did it with the birch. And what was the other one? I forget. Damn it, jungle. That's what it was. So yeah, that was the first step to figuring that out, is how trees kind of work in the game and what would work with the system I came up with. Now, there is a reason why I only did it 4 high. That's because once the tree gets any higher, it starts to look like this. So this is not what I need. It seems that this limit right here, which I think is 6 blocks. Let's go over here and we'll check that out. No, I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leaf, and yeah. 5, 6. 6 high. Anything more than that and the tree starts to branch off, which will cause a few problems. So what's going to happen is the tree is the trunk itself is going to grow this high, and the first level of leaves is going to be right in front of that observer. So what it's going to do is when it detects that leaf, it's just going to push the wood itself out. And then as we go all the way down to the other end, it's actually going to be that high. We're just trying to make this quick as possible. We'll go ahead and put another one in here, and the block in front of the observer will update, and then it will push it the other direction. So if you want to know what happened, let's go through this a little bit slower. So the tree will grow, the observer will detect it, it will fire all of these redstone blocks, it will push the trunk out, and it will keep doing that as long as I'm planting the trees. That's why this is not an automated system, because I still have to do stuff by hand. But sooner or later it's going to reach that block, that observer right there, which will go through this system, activating those pistons and pushing all those blocks this way. And then these will go out to about 12 blocks, so somewhere about right here. I think that's 12. It's close enough just for demonstration. So this right here is the system I had to go through. Everything I had to test out to get this damn thing to work. And it took me a while, but the first thing I had to figure out was bone meal. What this system does is if we put a sapling right here, and over here we have a dispenser. Let me go ahead and put the bone meal in there. It will automatically, oh, I don't think it will grow because of these. It will automatically dispense the bone meal into the tree, allowing it to grow. And then the observers will push it. Now, as you can see, the damn thing's still going because I need to shut it off. There we go. So we are going to need a ton of bone meal. So what I did figure out is I saw a composter in the list of items that I could build, and I always wondered what the hell you could do with it. And then I finally figured it out that if you throw stuff in it, you can make bone meal. So there's 3 items that we have in our survival world right now that we can craft up. Those 3 things are bamboo, cactus, and sugarcane. Those are the automated systems that I know work because I've messed with them. But there's a limit to the things that you could actually put into a composter. So this one is, which one is this? That's the trees. Well, I guess you could put saplings in there, but holy shit, it takes a lot. All right, so there's our bone meal. We're not going to go to the saplings. We need the saplings for growing. So if we go with the bamboo, As you can see, I can't put the bamboo in there. Let's go to the cactus. And it does take a bit, but eventually we got ourselves some bone meal. How about sugarcane? Yep, there we go. All right, so what I was trying to figure out, is there a way of making an automated system with that? Luckily, this thing spits out the bone meal just as you saw, which means we could pick it up with the hopper. So all we have to do is figure out a system to get the sugarcane and the cactus from its automated system into the hopper for the composter. So if we go ahead and put, yep, there they go. They're going down. They're going down to the composter. That will spit out, go into that hopper, and then into the chest. So as you see, I have tested this out a little bit. The problem is it takes a lot of stuff to make one bone meal. Let's actually see. So yeah, this thing has only made 3 bone meal out of an entire stack of cactus. Now, we're not able to use the bamboo. The bamboo is not going to work, which is not all bad. The bamboo system that I have set up, the old XP system, is kind of an eyesore, and I would love to be able to get rid of that thing. So that's what we're going to be doing with that. We're going to keep the cactus because I think it looks kind of cool. We're also going to keep the sugarcane, but I think I have to move that around. So the first thing I had to figure out was, how the hell do I dispense the bone meal and make that automated? And here we have a dispenser. Now, it took me a little while to figure this out, how to get the dispenser to actually activate. And I haven't done a whole lot with the droppers or the dispensers, but I figured out a little bit of a redstone system. This one is not going to work, unfortunately. And if I go ahead and put some bone meal in there, you will see that a comparator, this right here is a comparator. What it does is it will read the block behind it. You can actually change the setting to either ignite the redstone if it senses anything in, oh wait a minute. All right, so right now we have it to where it senses if it's empty, and right now it senses if it's full. So right now the redstone signal is going through, but as you can see, the redstone signal stops at this block. So that was the first problem I had. All I went ahead and did was I put down a repeater. That way the redstone signal has a little bit more strength to get all the way around. So if I go ahead and put bone meal in there, as you can see, it's I think they call it a redstone clock, and it works pretty well. Now as you can see, it's also not dispensing bone meal. Something I found out is that if nothing is in front of it, it will not actually dispense what's in its inventory. Let's go ahead and shut that off. It'll get annoying. So another thing you also have to figure out with redstone is when I put this one down, it will not go to the dispenser. It actually has to be a signal that goes, I guess. I'm not sure how this works. I think it might be this block right here. Let's go ahead. We'll get rid of that. Let's find some redstone. And maybe someone could explain to me why this does not work. So if we have the redstone right there, as you can see, it just stops the signal. But if we go ahead and put the block back, just like that, oh, it stopped the signal. Oh, because I have that shut off. Duh. All right, let's try this again. As you can see, now that we have it on, it does not dispense. So I do have to put a block there so that the signal goes to the right location in the back of the dispenser to activate it. Now, if we look at it, it's not going to show us, but I think, let me see. Let's see if we can find this, where the hell are you? Oh, well, I have to go to one of these ones. Where the hell are the observers? All right, so if we look at the observer right here, the little dot that actually ignites the redstone is right in the middle. So what I'm thinking is they kind of all work like that. That's why this system works. And it's not the redstone that is sending the signal to the dispenser. It's actually the block underneath it. So like I said, it's not the redstone, it's the block underneath going into the dispenser that is powering it. That redstone signal, if we get rid of the lever, you can see that that redstone signal is no longer going that way. But let's go ahead and shut that off. So that was the first thing I had to figure out when it comes to dispensing the bone meal. Took me a while. I mean, it's a very simple system, but it really took me a long time. So this system over here, I already had figured out. The pistons that... Alright, let's clear this off so you can actually see it. The system right here was actually pretty simple. All it was 4 pistons with an observer on top, then I just had to figure out the redstone. Easy peasy, nothing... Oh, you son of a bitch. He's just scared the shit out of me. Yes. Oh, my heart is pounding. Alright, so all of this, that was simple. Now we got the bone meal figured out. Next thing we need to figure out is this wall of pistons, which took me days to figure out. That's why I haven't gotten the video out in a little while, because I was trying to figure all this out. So if we come over here, where do I start? Yeah, I think it's right here. Actually, let's go back over here so I can show you. So this system that we're seeing right there, all that is that piston and that observer. Dude, you're kind of distracting. Shut up. All right. Nope. You're going. You're out of here. Come here. I know this is mean, but this guy's kind of annoying. Yo, go away. Run. Go. Just die already. Shit. All right, your turn. Jesus. I didn't think I would get that in creative, but I guess so. Alright, so this system is that piston and that observer. What I thought would happen is if I put the block in front of the observer, it will push that piston. What I didn't realize is that this was going to happen. Yep. What happens is the observer... Okay, can I shut you off? You're annoying. Okay, how about that one? Alright, so the observer will activate whenever the block in front of it is updated. That means whenever you place a block in front of it, you take away a block in front of it, or a piston keeps going back and forth, which is why this thing was going crazy. So what I had to figure out was a system to get the redstone signal on a timer, so that way it would not be like a permanent connection, I guess we'll call that. So the system I came up was pretty simple with just pistons and a redstone block. Do I have this set up? I think, hold on. Okay, now I think it's set up. So all it does is when the stone is put in front of the observer, or the block in front of it is updated, it sends a signal through this block, which then goes to the piston, which pushes the redstone block to send the signal to that redstone, which then comes back around to the piston and pushes the redstone back. Which, alright, so when the redstone's here, it'll go to the piston with that redstone block. And then when this piston fires, it'll push the redstone block back, turning the redstone system off. If it works like it's supposed to, but let's see what happens. Now, as you can see, this piston did not go back because, yeah, this system did not work out. So what I had to do was I had to figure out a timing system for that as well. So what I came up with, let me see... I think the repeater. All we need to do is we need to put a repeater right there. And what I'll also go ahead and do is I'll extend the time all the way. Everything else set up, I think we're good. So what that's going to do is, now that it's set up on a timer, it will push everything back to where it needs to go. So just like that system right there, the observer puts the signal into that block, which extends the piston, which will move the redstone block to here. The redstone will come up here. It will go to the left and to the right. When it goes to the right, it will go to, shit. I forgot the name of it already. Repeater. It will go to the repeater, which is set on a 4-tick timer. After 4 ticks, it will push that piston, turning the power off, which will also send this piston back. So when the block is here and the signal goes to the left, it will extend that piston, but then when the power turns off, the piston will retract. So the next thing I had to figure out was, how was I going to get that on a multi-level? So here we only have 1 piston set up, but I needed this to be 4 high. And that presented another problem, which took me so long to figure out. This problem I actually had to get help with because I couldn't figure it out. I had no idea how to get this to work. So if we go ahead and put the block right in front, you'll see that some of the pistons are not actually firing. Let's try this again. We'll put a block here, here, and there. Now as you see, the top block did not move because that piston did not fire. The reason for that is just like I said over there. Where did I say that? I can't remember where. Oh yeah, when we were trying to do the dispenser. Is I think the redstone signal needs to be somewhere in the middle of that block. So this one took me a really long time to figure out. I tried everything. Finally, I had to give up. I went on YouTube and found a video. And the channel I found was, if I'm pronouncing this guy's name wrong or right, Avomances, something like that. I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description for the video that I looked up. And that should help you get this system working. He explains it a little bit better than I do. Okay, let's be honest. He explains it a lot better than I do. But the system, I'm a little pissed off about this because I should have been able to figure this out. The way to get this work is with repeaters. Alright, so the way we have to see this is we have to see it with blocks. Now, let's say I don't have those repeaters there. So with the redstone signal, this block right here will initiate that piston. The redstone that was on top where the repeater is right now would activate that piston. Then with the redstone, this block would be charged, which will activate that piston. But there was nothing up here to activate that piston because of the redstone was too low. Is that right? I don't think so. Actually, no, it is right because the redstone block would have went into that one as well, I think. But yeah, because there was nothing above this redstone, it wasn't initiating that piston, which is why that block did not move. But I guess the way this works is that block is still charged, so it moves that piston. That repeater, I guess, counts as a full block, so it'll move that piston. Then you have this block, which will move that piston. And then you have the top repeater, which I guess counts as a full block and will move that piston. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's the way it actually works, but it does work. I don't understand why. Because the thing is we have the redstone right here, which I would think would take up an entire block, which should activate that piston, just like that repeater does. So I don't exactly understand why that repeater's activating the piston and the redstone doesn't. But it's okay. It's a little bit confusing for me, but it's alright. Not a big deal. So all we have here is the redstone system got a little bit confusing for me. But if we go ahead and put down the blocks, oh, not that one, right there. As you can see, now they all do push. So that was the way to fix it, but I'm still having trouble understanding why that works and that one doesn't. So this is why I had to set up the system the way that I did. So just like the other system, what happens is the observer, or the block in front of the observer will be updated. The observer will send the signal to that block, which will send to that piston, which will move that redstone block, which will ignite the redstone, which actually goes in 3 different directions. It goes off to the left, it goes off to the right, and it goes forward. Now off to the left, it will go to these pistons. When it goes forward, it will actually go up through the observer to that redstone, which will initiate those pistons. Then off to, okay, can I go down please? Thank you. When it goes off to the right, it will go to the repeater, which has a 4-second delay, or a 4-tick delay. I don't think it actually is seconds, which will then push that piston, moving the redstone block back, shutting the system off, and those pistons will retract. I think I confused the shit out of everybody with that, but the system works. Go check out Avomances' video. He does a really good job at explaining how to build this. The only thing that kind of, well, I wasn't really upset. The thing that I didn't like about his videos is he showed how to build this stuff, but he didn't really explain why it works the way that it does. And I've been noticing that a lot with tutorial videos with Minecraft, is people will tell you how to build systems like this, but they won't really explain the mechanics of why this works. And that's the stuff that I want to know. In order for me to be able to build stuff like this on my own, I need to understand why things work the way they do. I don't just need to know that they do work, I need to know why. But anyway, so we have the system set up. This technically, if we look at it, this is 3 different redstone machines. I mean, it all works together in one system, but this piston wall right here is one redstone system. They're completely closed off from one another. This set of pistons is another system, and then the dispenser is a completely separate system. It is actually kind of cool. I like it how we bring 3 systems together to make one that does something like this. So eventually, when you have enough bone meal, which is probably going to be the most difficult part of this entire thing, is trying to get enough sugarcane and cactus, try to get enough of that together to make all the bone meal that we're going to need just for one block of 400 and some odd wood blocks. Is going to take a little bit of time. Just a little bit. Unfortunately, I didn't get this set up in survival. Because, well, I'm tired. I didn't have the time. So what I want to do is I want to go into survival and show you guys what I've been up to and the plan that we have for this system. Alright, so as you can see, if you look down in the village, I have been working a little bit on my own. I don't know if I showed you guys any of this. So yeah, I did get the wall finished, and it was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. I think, oh shit, skeleton. I think he's underneath me. This was a lot more work than I thought it was going to be. So next time I do something like this, I build a wall, I'm not going to put this amount of detail into it. There's no freaking way. I'm not doing this shit again. This took me so freaking long to finish this wall. I hate it. I do. This right here is the armory. It was really just a test to see what kind of buildings I could build in the area that I have. And yeah, they must be underneath me. If you're creative, you can do a lot with tiny little spaces like this. Now I know this actually looks like a pretty good building, but it didn't have a whole lot of room. If we go over here, you will notice that it is pretty much the same space, but it kind of looks a little bit bigger because of the way I set it up. Now it took me a little while to design it, but it works out pretty well. And of course over here we have some animals. Now a couple of these animals I did spawn in. I've been kind of experimenting with the cheats and everything. Somebody showed me how to, and of course it's gonna get dark. In the comments somebody showed me how to turn off the sun rotation in the game. So ever since then I've been going around trying to mess with the commands and see what all you can do with them. And I found out that you could actually spawn in animals, and I wanted to see what different type of animals there were in game. So yeah, we have donkeys, which I haven't found yet. Llamas, which I haven't found yet. And I think there's some rabbits in here somewhere. I've seen rabbits, they're out in the desert, but I don't have them around here. Also over here what we have is the dock with a boat, so we could do some fishing. Kind of cool. I'll probably put like a fishing hut right here. And then of course over here on this side we have our little farm. Well, actually it's not too much of a little farm. It's a good sized farm. I think I have everything that I found in game so far. Pumpkins, melons, I think those are carrots, beets, potatoes, wheat, and then sugar cane. So this is where I was starting to figure things out with the trees and how tall they can be, and that you could actually block how tall they are going to be by putting in blocks. Now this is the little canal which feeds the irrigation ditches. So we got the little bridges that go over that so I could get to the other side. And of course that goes all the way over to the lake. I just wanted to try to make it as realistic as possible. Alright, so now what we need to figure out is where are we going to put this system? Ah, shit. Alright, let's try not to fight. I probably need to go ahead and get some sleep real quick. Alright, we got some sleep. So here's what's going to happen. As I said earlier... Oh, hello. Alright, where's my sword? There you are. Oh, you little bastard, go away. Would you just die already? Shit. They last way too long when they're on fire. Alright, spider, let's finish. Oh, shit. He jumped at me. Yeah, those guys last way too long when they're on fire. Alright, so I probably... the fucking creepers. I'm getting tired of the creepers. They're really starting to annoy the hell out of me. But like I said, we don't really need the bamboo, so I could go ahead and get rid of that system. I don't know. I've been trying to decide if I want to get rid of it or keep it because it's kind of a nostalgia thing. I mean, I did spend a lot of time trying to build it. But I think we're just going to keep it for looks. Maybe. I don't know. But what we can do now is we don't need the XP system. Actually, let me... Yeah, there's a little bit in there. I might be able to get... Oh, no, that's why. I was wondering why this thing hasn't been running. Now I know. Alright, let's see if there's any XP in it. And we might as well grab it. Alright, we went from 44 to 45. So yeah, there was just a little bit in it. But we can go ahead and get rid of this XP system because we have the better one in the mine. The cactus I would like to keep because I do kind of like how this looks next to the hut. The sugarcane on the other hand, this is ugly as hell. I really do not like this. I mean, granted, I didn't spend a whole lot of time trying to design it, but I definitely don't like the way it looks. So I could definitely move the sugarcane. So I don't know. I think what we're going to do is we're going to use sugarcane to feed the composter, which will hopefully get us all the bone meal that we're going to need. And then for the system, you know what? We're going to need a mill. That's what we need. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to come away from the manor. we have a river over here, and that would seem like the best place to build a mill. But first, what I would need to do is I would need to flatten this whole area out. At least just enough to build the mill. And then we could go ahead and move the sugarcane farms over here somewhere. I don't know. I'll probably do all that on my own because it's going to take me a while and I don't know when I'll be able to get it done. But hopefully that system will get us all the wood that we need. I'm hoping. So that way we can go ahead and start getting this village done. We do have plenty of room for the village. But I'm definitely tired. It's time for me to go to bed. I'm starting to ramble. But yeah, this is all the room that we have for the village. Now, I was going to try to get creative with it. But at this point, I think I'm just going to keep the village simple. Just build huts like the ones that were here before. Just with all of the different stuff that the villagers need. And then at some point, we're going to have to figure out how to get villagers over here because I haven't messed with those at all. But yeah, that I'm definitely going to work out on my own because I still don't know what I want to do with it. But anyways, like I said, I'm starting to get tired, so I'm starting to ramble. It's time to end this video because it's probably already going to be 45 minutes long. Luckily, I didn't fall asleep halfway through it. But yeah, I think we got a system that's going to work out. It's going to get us the wood. Next episode, I have no idea what the hell I'm going to do. I think probably the best thing to do now is figure out what we need to do next to go up against the Ender Dragon and beat the game. Everything else we could do later on. I mean, just because I beat the dragon does not mean I have to end the series. There's still a lot that we could do in the game. So I think that's what I'm going to do. We're going to go through and figure out what all we need to do to beat the Ender Dragon. One thing I do know that I am going to need is I am going to need some Eyes of Ender. I think it's called. I need to use those in order to find a fortress, which is where I find the end portal, I think it's called. Hell, I don't know. I've never gone this far before. But yeah, we need to get to the end where we go against the Ender Dragon, which is where we're going to die about 20 times and maybe hopefully beat the dragon out of those 20 times. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out and then we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, we need to figure out what we need to do to get to the Ender Dragon and defeat him. But we'll worry about that in the next episode. Until then, make sure to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.